So I'm going to introduce now Sandy McFarland. We joke about our satellite office. What did we decide our name was? San Joe McFartard.
Use your imagination. All right, let me
Yeah, good. Just going to turn this baby off. I'll go back on the slide. Okay, I'll switch places with you.
All right.
Oh, good evening, good evening. I hope so. Thank you all for being here. It's nice to see faces, because I only know voices when I call you on the phone, or just email signatures, I can never put a face in things. So I can see who I am too. But I want to thank you all for being here tonight. And as Joe said, I'm Sandy McFarland. I am the administrator and grant writer for the mentor program.
I need to turn you up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I yell, but you don't.
I used to be able to yell and really project to the back of the room without a microphone, and then I had my two kids.
I thought you got better.
I think I was yelling too much, and I can't do it. I lost that. So, anyway, so I also make the reference phone calls, and I do background checks as you process your application form. So I get to know all your background, all the good things, but I'll never tell. And so I'm also on the board of directors. I'm the finance committee, and I am a girl Friday to Joe. So whatever Joe needs, I make sure it gets done. Whatever Joe wants, Joe gets. So now, one of the things she wanted me to talk about was recruiting male mentors, and I'm just going to just briefly cover that because you guys are the creme de la creme. So I don't want to be preaching to you. What a term. So the thing is, recruiting male mentors is very, very important. But let me tell you, I like to see a nice ratio between the male and female applicants to be mentors. And what we usually get is maybe one male applicant for maybe 3 or 4 female. And we really want to get a better balance of that. Our program, there are about 42 girls and about 54 boys currently on the waiting list right now. And so, therefore, we need more guys to step up. So, and historically, it's always been that way. And nationally, it's that way also. So we're doing the same trend here. So there's always more men needed as opposed to more women being asked to apply. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, so forgive me for that, but I'll just kind of sum up here. So the most effective way to get more males to apply to be a mentor really comes from you guys who are already in the mentoring program, but especially the male mentors, guy mentors. You talk to your friends or whatever, your male relatives, whatever. And that's what I want to ask you tonight to do when you have the time, you have the inclination to do this. And so if you have a friend, a guy friend, or you have a guy relative that would think would be a great mentor, they gotta be have the stuff too, not just anybody. We just don't take anybody. So we want the good guys, and the real serious ones. And so just have them contact Joe or myself, or get on the website, or send us an email, fill out the application. A lot of ways you can do that. And as Joe said, you get goodie points, because we keep track of that. So we take care of you guys if you take care of us. We can make that happen. So anyways, let's go on to other things. I don't want to talk this in general. How many here are thinking of becoming a mentor? You haven't signed up yet. Everybody's pretty much, okay, you're in the system already. Okay. So this is really a general thing about being a mentor, whether you're just new, just started, or you've been in the program for a while. And I want you to know that you're not alone. We're here to help you. We want to make it so you are successful. That is our basic thing. We want to just make sure that you guys are okay. So, in any relationship, there's always bumps in the road. You're always going to have some difficulties here and there. And so, we're dealing with children, and especially we're dealing with parents. Now, I come from Boy Scout, Cub Scout background, and I deal with a lot of parents. And when I tell my leaders, I do training for the leaders in the Cub Scout, and I always tell them, the first thing I tell them to do is that they have to stand up, and I tell them, lean to the left, lean to the right, lean forward, go back, which means you've got to be flexible. You just have to be flexible, okay? Just go with the flow and be flexible and work with what you have. So that's why. So therefore, you're going to have these bumps. Just expect them, because they're going to be there. Just expect them. And nobody has all the answers. I really believe in that it takes a village to raise a child. I don't usually agree with Hillary Clinton, but I agree with her on that point. I just do. And then that many hands and light work. I believe in that too. I love to delegate. And so, get as many people involved with you as possible to make your mentoring partnership a success. And so therefore, there's Joe, there's myself, there's all the school counselors, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of resources out there. And just let us know how we can help you be successful. How can we make it easier for you to do what you do? And because we want you to not only enlighten this child, but we want you to have a good time. We want you to have fun too. We want you to have a good experience with this. And don't be afraid or shy to ask us anything, because we'll tell you, we'll help you. So anyways, I'm just going to go over briefly, frequently asked questions about being a mentor. And so one of them is, here goes. Won't young people and their parents be leery of a stranger like me trying to be their friend? Okay, so nobody expects you to come to their house and then just bounce in their house and say, "Hi, I'm here. I'm your new BFF." They don't expect you to do that. It's just really about just taking it slow, be serious, be concerned, and just kind of take the time to earn their trust. That's what you got to do. So, start out with some kind of short visit, someplace in town, something really half an hour, nothing really, really forced. And then gradually you can increase your activity time with the child. And then what is very important is not only communicating with the child, but the parent and the guardian. You really have to maintain good communications with them, because they're the ones that are going to allow you to take their child out. So get really nice and close to the parents too. Now, one thing for sure is that when you do have the family involved in helping you becoming a better mentor, you're going to have just an easier time in your relationship with the child. And so, the parents will have the child there. They'll be there when the child gets home, so you can drop them off, things like that. And so that's what we like to see. We want to see a nice, everybody getting involved, because we're focusing on the child, so the child's needs. So that's what we want to do. So another thing they ask is, young people's problems are very complex. What can I possibly do? So, you guys all have this influence on children because you're considered the role models. And so you do have an impact on children. And it can be a positive one if you are a positive influence, and that's a really good thing. A lot of these kids out there, they're very lonely. They're very lonesome. They want a friend. And a lot of times, they would need a friendship of an adult, a caring adult, just one. And you can be that one. Just be there for them. And so, nothing really, you can do things like the sharing of ideas and, go to the movies or sports outings, whatever, and, just kind of laugh over stuff that you've done that's embarrassing. Just kind of be yourself, have fun. And also you can talk about the future plans, what they want to do, because they're young. They got lots of years coming up. And so the children need you as an adult to be their friend. And so just consider yourself a friend, and that's all, but then that's really plenty. There really is a lot. You're their friend. You're their rock. And so what you are not is that you're not a problem fixer. So you're just there to be their friend, okay? Now, one of the things that really struck me in one of these questions that, this is here, I'm not exactly cool. What if my mentee doesn't like me? And so I'm thinking that most young people don't expect you to be cool because you're an adult, right? Like, welcome to my world, So the kids can like you without being like you, really. So just be yourself, be authentic. You've got lots of quirks and imperfections, but that's what makes you you. That's what makes you so wonderful and special. And so if you show your mentee that this is okay, we're all our own different style. It's just really nice. They feel better, you feel better. And I think you have a nice relationship going on that. So, your mentee and you're all unique, very unique human beings. But the mentee is still developing, is still growing, and they still have wonderful gifts to show the world that they have. So you're there to support them, to respect them, and to also take an interest in who they are. Don't make them anything else. So, now, one of these things I do like, this last question here, is that, what if I say something wrong? We all have this problem. Sometimes we say the wrong thing, it just comes out. We just can't help it. It just comes right out. And you can't take it back. That's one thing about the words. It's hard to take them back. It really is. And so you can embarrass the mentee, or you can say something hurtful or offensive, not even know that you've done it. But, you will pick up, and you'll know if you've done something wrong. They'll tell you, they'll show you. And so this is a great teaching moment for humility. And, do the heartfelt apology right away. You just have to graciously admit you were wrong, that you made a mistake, and that you want their forgiveness. Ask for their forgiveness. I'm really sorry, please forgive me. And you know what? I bet you this might be maybe the first time an adult has shown this kind of respect to a child. And this is a process. This is a great learning process for them. This is how you do conflict resolution. And this is how you have positive outcome to something that was negative. And so in that kind of sense, you guys are there, and you are the role models, and this is really good. So this, because it's a bad thing happen, doesn't mean that it can't be good after all. You really learn from it. So anyways, I'm just going to wrap it up really quickly here, a comment on reference calls that I make. I ask tons of questions, when I talk to all these people that really love you, by the way. I love these reference calls. I come very misty all the time because they just think you're wonderful. You're just absolutely wonderful. So, but one of the things, well, actually two things that Joe and I really look for is the consistency and communication qualities of a potential mentor. And so, just kind of think about these questions and see if they apply to you. For consistency, we want to know, do you stay with a commitment once you make it? And are you in it for the long haul? Can you weather the good and the bad times? And how determined are you to succeed as a mentor? Now, for communication, I'm looking always at, how good are you staying in touch with us without us nagging? I nag my kids enough. I don't want to nag you guys too. So then again, you got to contact Joe on a monthly basis. Can you do that? Tell her just one little sentence even about what's going on. Do you have Joe's cell phone number in your speed dial? Please do that, especially in case of emergencies. Just have her in your phone. And then again, reliable contact with the mentee and their parents or guardian. That's very important too. And also, be comfortable with getting in touch with the school counselor too. If something comes up, make sure that you're comfortable with just calling them and say, I got a concern. And because we want to nip these things in the bud, just get them all taken care of. So just kind of think about that. And because these questions here will address your mentoring experience, and it'll be in a positive and a more sustainable one. We just want to make it really, really fun and good for you. So in closing, I just want to thank you all for your time and your energy in making a positive difference in a young child's life. You guys are the creme de la creme, the best. We just love you. All right.
She's actually weepy up here. She needs it.